everyone, first half of Omni versus Our Nothing. And I'm here with Dima, my name is Melon. Uh, yeah, we see Sirius taking the check. Pretty safe area against Freaking Wheel.
Ooh, this spawn is really reminiscent of the good old days, especially getting to see Breaking Wheel round one as well. Definitely a downside to having two stunners like the Enchantress and Antiquarian here.
True. Although we do see the Enchantress with the flywheel, so I believe
Hmm.
she shouldn't have too much of a hurt time if the wheel do decide to go for her. But we should be worried about would probably be the first officer. He is
Hmm.
basically in a very rough area against the wheel.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely anticipate that first officer possibly being our first chase here. Of course, Seer is a little bit vulnerable as well, but when you have the Seer and Shack, especially up against the Breaking Wheel, uh, definitely puts more of a disadvantage towards the hunter in that regard. But of course, first officer definitely needs to hold on to those pocket watches, especially
Yeah, that's
considering
true.
how intense breaking wheel matches can get, especially towards end game. And on a big map like Lakeside here, getting to start off on a bigger map is exciting, but it definitely puts even more pressure on the
Uh,
survivors to utilize their resources. Oh,
yeah, so oh, and yeah, very early spike on the FO, also easy by baiting out one of his pocket watch. Now, yeah, so we could
hmm.
just casually janking target here. Already taking out one pocket from the FO.
Ooh, our Antiquarian is gonna go for a stun on the breaking wheel, disarming just before the breaking wheel gets back into wheel form.
Yes, there is still quite some time until Flywheel is ready. He um she might have to. Oh, a very
Ooh,
nice air from Spear. Although a fragment is up, so Antiquary might have to be very careful.
beautiful flywheel from the Antiquarian here. We do, of course, still have excitement from the Pullen to work with. Oh, and we're gonna get another disarm on the Hunter. Oh, and we're gonna go for the excitement to get that down secured.
Yes, and yeah, just Antiquary, yeah, doesn't have a Flywheel anymore, and although she still have a little bit per sticks to possibly rebound after the rescue, we do see um I believe it's the first officer coming in for the rescue.
Hmm.
Yes, and it seems to be a free rescue.
Yeah. And we are able to see. Oh, Antiquarian is going to fall into the trap over at the ship here. Breaking Wheel canceling attack recovery by falling down from the ramp. First officer is still uh, at full health, but of course, we're still seeing that spike from the early match. Antiquarian is going to go down in the bottom of the staircase to the ship, but instead of chairing at the top of the ship here, our breaking wheel is going to opt to chair over at the rocky beach where Sierra is decoding. Definitely a good call, especially given the cipher progress. It really forces Seer off that cipher, and Seer did utilize his out earlier, so there is less for him to work with.
Although he is still staying there by the chair, I
Mm-hmm.
think no, Enchantress is coming in for the rescue. So perhaps he's staying around to possibly Forbidden an hour, I think.
We're gonna see a flywheel from the Enchantress, but oh, unfortunately, Antiquarian isn't able to get that stun in and is going to get basic hit down. We still have one guard from the Enchantress to work with, and it does seem like the Enchantress is close by, almost at a second as well.
True. Excitement
Oh,
is up, however. Yes, so
mm-hmm. And
heading
the
towards the
Enchantress did
stair.
use. Oh, yeah, Sierra definitely has to transition away as soon as possible, especially with those three spikes on. Antiquarian is going to get sent back to the manor, but it looks like our breaking wheel is going to opt to go for our first officer instead, who just finished up the middle cipher. Oh, unfortunately, we are going to be seeing that last pocket watch go away, but First Officer still has a sliver of help to work with as our breaking wheel changes targets to our Enchantress on the ship. Oh,
Yes. Unfortunately, did not get
I think the Enchantress dropped down. But of course, with the silent bolting, it's hard to tell. Breaking Wheel is going to go back for that First Officer who is going to get two spikes and downed, especially without any flywheel to work with, of course. But
yes.
yeah.
Uh, And they still, I believe, still have two cipher. Um, I think they're sending the enchantress in for the rescue. No, unable to
Mm-hmm.
spot the enchantress on top of shore.
Mm-hmm. Tonight is ringing strong back there. And oh, it does look like since we're at one cipher remaining, we are going to be seeing Enchantress close in. But
Yes, and considering it's a first officer, he is going to be on that chair for a long time.
he's marinating on that chair with the longest chair time in the game at the moment. And it does look like
Yes.
we do have Seer back on that ship cipher, getting it close to the halfway point as the breaking wheel continues to look for a next target.
Yes, Enchantress, I believe she is going for the rescue right now. She cannot go down, however, considering she does not have borrow time. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I believe the plan here is to get the Afro down and pop the cipher
Oh,
since
but the
she's the
cipher
only one who
isn't
has
quite
borrow time.
primed. But we did have the breaking wheel switch from excitement to peepers, and Enchantress is gonna go ahead for that stun. And we're gonna go for the pop. Breaking Wheel does set sights on the mm, looks to be the first officer since he's dead on chair, but is going to put down a peeper over at the entrance or the gate.
Yes, and Officer is going to go down with the spike. Changes still doing the gate. I don't think she is going to get it open in time. Maybe Siri is thinking about opening the other gate instead, while Enchantress is going to keep the route busy on this side of the map.
hmm And there is the dungeon close by to work with, so uh, Enchantress just really has to play her cards right. Has at
Yes,
least
there
one
is a
stun to
10.
work
There is a
with.
10 for Omni.
Oh,
One
good,
stun to chain
avoiding
the
the
game.
trap.
And avoiding a second trap. Still, it has not been at
Oh.
the other gate yet. It's going to be a long time for Enchantress.
Oh, and using the flywheel and guard to avoid getting hit here. Enchantress is going to go inside the ship, but is going to get hit. Seer is just finishing up that gate, and it does seem like our hunter is going to go for that cornfield gate. Seer is gonna instead. Oh, they're
And
gonna opt for the one person escape.
to the second half of round one of Omni versus Our Nothing. And I'm back here with Mima. We are seeing, yep, we are seeing Killer Boss against Our Nothing Survivor.
You need to play the bot again.
Okay, okay,
We
okay.
need like a blooper reel, I swear.
I didn't mean it. I swear
Lan,
to God, I did
can
not hear it.
you like I think you can center the game a little bit more because it's a little bit more to the okay. No, I just mean that like the black bar on the left is smaller than the black bar on the right. I think yeah. Like as I
Perfect,
think so. Like hopefully we're not cutting off anything important. I don't know. Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's perfect.
amazing.
Well, no, you have to move it to the left a little bit more, please. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. It's not exact. It's like 2 pixels off, but it's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay. I'll accept that. You get an A. Lila iPad baby. I'm just kidding. Aw, how sweet. Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm. Right, we back to round one, second half of Omni versus Our Nothing. I'm back here with Nima. My name's Melon. We are seeing Killerbots against Our Nothing Survivor.
Yeah, really excited to see how this match goes, especially considering how intense our first half was. And of course, we are going to be seeing that Goat Man from Killer Boss, and it's always exciting to get to see um, like a meta hunter round one. Every hunter is up on the table, and especially on a bigger map like Lakeside Village, being able to break that distance from these survivors really poses a big threat on them. Of course, we do have 3 out of 4 of this team, I'd say, really can compensate in terms of distance with the cheerleader, fire investigator, and acrobat, each having their own way to get up ahead from the hunter. But of course, this being
That's
Goatman,
true.
you still have to watch out for the cages. And that first officer definitely needs to watch out for using that pocket watch, especially when the hunter baits it out, just like in our first half. So we are
And
going
immediately
to.
going for the Fire Investigator. Your favorite.
Yes. Yeah, it does seem like we are going to be seeing the fire investigator try and hide for as long as possible, but catching sight of that bud trail, Goatman is going to place down a cage and oh, just
Oh,
narrowly missing the fire investigator who is going to get stopped by the fence here, but he hasn't quite used an airbag yet. Oh, and we're
yeah,
gonna
it's a very interesting situation we have ourselves in.
oh my
Fire
goodness,
investigator getting struck by his own um by
airbag.
his own
Yeah,
airbag.
unfortunately, just the cooldown, it is going to be 10 seconds for the fire investigator, uh, and a little bit longer for other teammates, but uh, being in such a closed off space with the goat man and trying to push off fast definitely hindered the fire investigator here. This
Yes.
is a little bit tricky for our first officer here who was decoding on the opposite side of the mat. But of course, it does seem like we are having another teammate pull in. It's going to be the acrobat.
Yes. Although it's cipher are not pretty far. I
Ooh.
believe is missing the case from Kiloboss and did not get the double hit on the acrobat.
Yeah, he has to
Yeah,
really
he did not
find that.
lose the fire investigator.
And it does look like we are seeing the goatman catch up to the fire investigator and utilizing peepers.
Uh, it's going to be hard
Oh,
for
oh.
the fire investigator to transition away from this
Mm-hmm.
area.
Yeah, definitely. And it does seem like maybe the strategy is to get the fire investigator as far from the team as possible. Acrobat wasn't able to get healed up, just returning back to the cipher to compensate for their decoding loss. But it looks like our first officer is going to move in.
Yes, and it's still going to be tricky for the officer considering after he popped the cipher, Goldman already know where he is coming from.
Yeah, and you really have to be careful when you're utilizing the pocket watch early on into the chase. But it does look like our goatman is not going to be cutting him quite off, and he is able to get the rescue on the fire investigator. We do have the tide to work with for both, and it looks like unfortunately fire investigator is going to get hit. Still getting hit under that first officer illusion. Of course,
That's
there is
true.
still
And
some time to work with tide, but oh,
almost catching the cheerleader by surprise. And this cipher
mm-hmm.
is going to get interrupted at 50%. No,
Oh,
I believe it
the
just started.
the fire investigator closed himself off from the goat man, buying enough time for his team by sacrificing the last of his airbags Now, of course, we are going to be seeing the fire investigator get sent back to the manor, but in this time, the survivors were able to heal themselves up. And it does look like with that last sliver of wanted order, Goatman is going to head over to the first officer and acrobat, who will be our next target. It seems like it's going to be the first officer.
And we're having a little bit of hiding over
Oh,
here. Although I believe the hunters already spotted him.
yeah, the skin definitely gives it away sometimes. We are having the first officer continue this pursuit. Now, going to utilize the last of his pocket watch, but our Goatman
Uh,
is going to opt to peeper and leave.
yes, and Acrobat has been trying to get to that 50% cipher unsuccessfully, getting spotted by the bookman and going back for the officer who got spotted by the peeper.
Oh, unfortunately getting cornered there by the tree and fence. Yeah, being in the last phase of his pocket watch and then revealing yourself kind of by dismantling the peeper, made first
That's true.
officer the prime target here, especially after
Well, the
Acrobat
survivor,
did use the red bomb. Mhm.
yes, they um well they technically can really start the cipher at Carb Check, which was 50%. So I believe yeah, they are starting a new cipher while cheerleader um trying to make her way in for the rescue. But even though officer had a long chair time, I'm not sure how long he could um stay
Mhm.
on that chair while cheerleader make her way over.
Oh yeah, and we are gonna see a double cage here. Oh, but oh, cheerleader does get stuck over in the objects in this shack area, and is going to get intercepted and downed.
And
Yeah.
yeah, Kilobot can just go and look for the acrobat. He's not in a rush here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
And considering
cheerleader.
the cipher has just been checking at drawer, he could
Mm-hmm.
just
Goatman is gonna put down another peeper by the main entrance ruins, closing in on the acrobat. But oh, that blood trail, I guess, was not quite enough for the Goatman to catch sight. But now we do see the pursuit. Oh, narrowly missing the acrobat here, and the acrobat is
yeah,
going to bomb to get to the other side.
very nice use of the bomb from the acrobat. Uh, Still going around this area with the government, just cheer discussing up.
Ooh,
Yep,
a
using
trump
Telly
card
to get
switch to
closer
teleport.
to is it seemed to be a confirmed die for the
Ooh,
hunter. Oh,
mm-hmm,
and
yeah.
narrowly escaping the hit
Red
with
light
the
trick.
compound.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, really close call. The cheerleader, of course, did use her self pickup, so now the hunter is gonna go ahead and go for that acrobat.
Will he try and get to the dungeon? We do see him moving toward Big Boat. Uh, Unfortunately, Gottman, I believe he has already gotten tinnitus and is just looking for the acrobat. It
Mm-hmm.
probably is just a matter of time before he got found.
Yeah, we're getting those crows.
But we're going to be watching a little bit of hide and seek here, although I do believe Trinables
Oh.
has already have a hunch on where he is.
Yeah, the downside of hiding there is that it's really difficult to get out once the hunter's on you. Oh, yeah, and we're really at the edge of the map here. Acrobat is also going to go down. It looks like our cheerleader might be crawling towards the dungeon, but of course, with that final deduction in play, oh, we are going to opt for the surrender, resulting in a four-man elimination.
There is going to be round two of Omni versus Over Nothing. We Omni has claimed the victory for round one, so if they claim the victory again in round two, they are going to win overall. We are seeing Clerk versus escapologist, coordinator, prospector, and magician.
Yeah, really excited to see this matchup. Always a pleasure to see hunters like Clerk. It's definitely so enjoyable that Clerk is able to still be utilized, especially in our NAU region. I really always enjoy our choices in terms of our server. And of course, this team composition for the survivors is definitely not easy to go up against. Each of these characters have troubling items to go ahead with. And of course, even if these survivors deplete their items, there are so many chests to work with on a map like Sacred Heart Hospital. Nice to downscale
That's
on the
true.
map too, in terms of size. But yeah.
I feel like Cloak is going to be having a little bit of a hard time with this team clone, but
Hmm.
we're gonna see how she plays out. Yes, and yeah, I believe she is going to go for the coordinator, who is already moving toward an area with more pallets and more windows to work with.
And our clerk is going to catch sight of that blood trail as coordinator transitions over to the birdcage of hospital.
Yes, and getting out of the way of the prospector to move toward forest where the cipher is locked. I
Hmm.
think
Oh,
yeah, almost no cipher is going to get interrupted.
Oh, we are going to see a recording on the magician, and Clark did previously get a recording of her vault on the window, so coordinator just needs to be cautious of that. And prospector is playing a safe distance for now, as coordinator still at full health.
Yes, this what Clark mostly struggle against is the supporting from the other character.
And we're gonna go for a warp from the clerk here, continuing to chase that coordinator now that she is itemless.
Yes, and we do see coordinator moving to a better kiting area over here. It's going to be more trouble for the clerk to chase her. Although it did disrupt the decoding of magician for a little, it
Mm-hmm.
considering this is a clerk, it shouldn't really be um a problem for her.
Yeah, Magician disrupted her right back by using the wand earlier and dropping the pallet. It does look like our magician is going to, yeah, continue to support with yet another wand. And honestly, the clerk ends up going for the
She
magician
has enough.
instead. Oh, beautiful pallet stun, though we do have a recording of that pallet drop. Going to use that right ahead to catch up to the magician again.
Yes, and very cautious of the Palestine right now, with the clerk.
Ooh, beautiful
Yeah, but Magician is
flywheel.
doing a really good job just baiting all these and
hmm
hit to the pallet.
Yes. Although at half health, Magician still has one more decoy to work with. And Clerk is still out of trait, having used Warp to catch up to the coordinator earlier. Magician's gonna go ahead and use the last of his decoy. Oh, but Clerk is gonna go for that red light trick.
Unfortunately, not successful. Magician is still very on the fence about where this clerk is. Yes, and they are still going around. Clerk still having no recording of the window, unable to block it, and was still getting hit from on the magician.
Solid kite and chase here. Our ciphers are really fast approaching their pop. And it does look like we do have our 5 ciphers necessary to proceed into the end game. Escapologist is going to opt to change Magician's chair. And in turn, Clerk is going to continue to disrupt that decoding. But of course, with the given cipher progress, there's less that you can do and more um, having to rely on this camp. Let's see how it goes.
That's true.
Right? Our escapologist is going to get that rescue in. It does look like we are not going to see Clerk uh, find a target just yet due to the smokescreen of the escapologist here.
It's true. She does love the magician a little, but I do believe she's found, no, she found the escape project. Although coordinator is nearby, she's not here yet, so
And did use her gun earlier as well. We do at least have Tide to work with, and they can opt for a pop, but a cipher is not primed. It does seem to be this is the last cipher, but
yes.
Escapologist is gonna move
Thankfully,
his
it's
chair.
an escape project. He could, yes, and as we see, he did move the chair away from the cipher.
Mm-hmm. And our prospector is closing in.
Yes, as long as escape project doesn't go down after the chair, the cipher pop should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Considering this escape project doesn't have borrow time.
Right, we're gonna see the prospector push the clerk away with the repel, and the clerk is going to end up switching targets to this prospector. Oh, we're
Oh,
going to see a missed hit and a pallet stun on the clerk. Another repel, which does get clerk to hit the tree. These survivors are opting to work on a different cipher as clerk continues to decode the nearly primed one. But the prospector is going to go down, and clerk is going to prevent the coordinator from continuing to decode on that cipher, locking it off with a recording. The whole team is at half health, of course. Even with ciphers at this range, it's really hard to go up against the clerk, especially if she happens to have a recording on anyone from the cipher.
I think they cannot send escape project in for the rescue. He does not have
Mm-hmm.
borrow time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe coordinator is healing up. Maybe she will be the one to get in.
Yeah, especially with that
Yes,
tide.
yes, and dungeon is just nearby. They potentially could do
Oh, and
something.
we're gonna go for
Oh,
a pop due to the clerk recording. It does look like our coordinator is still trying to get out of the way of this clerk here as she starts to watch on the gates.
that's true. Clark cannot leave. It's going to be a free rescue for this coordinator. She is
Mm-hmm.
just standing around and taking her attention. Potentially going for a tie.
Oh, and a terror shock on the coordinator, just shy of getting that rescue in. Prospector is going to get sent back to the manor as Clerk warps to the main gate, which does happen to be the magician's gate. Now, magician has also been chaired, so they'll have to be careful here. Coordinator still has self pickup.
Yes, and Magician is just doing his best to buy some time here.
I think he got another decoy. I was like trying to count back, but Clerk is gonna continue to be hot on Magician's trail as Coordinator did pick herself up.
Yes, and I do believe Magician is heading toward the direction of the dungeon.
Mhm.
Kirk, I think she has already picked up on it, so moving away from the Magician, heading for the gate instead.
When our escapologist is giving tinnitus here, Clerk is going to go around the shack, but it does seem like she has caught sight of the escapologist. Oh, and Magician was able to successfully get his gate open as escapologist uses. Oh, it's.
Leaving the escape project, I'm not sure if she know if the gate has been opened, but dungeon is just
Mm-hmm.
right here within the escape
Oh my
project
goodness.
direction.
Yeah, it does look like our clerk is going to return. There is less than 20 seconds up on warp, and it looks like our coordinator and magician are going to heal up. Detention is just out, so they are able to body block for this escapologist who seems to be going for that
That's
gate.
true. He can also go for the dungeon if anything.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what
I
he's
think
going for right
magician is
now.
going for the dungeon as we get some crows from our coordinator here. Oh my goodness. It does look like we are going to be seeing a three-man escape for Omni survivors here. We're heading into the second half of round two here, a really decisive match as we figure out whether or not we are going to proceed into a third round. All or nothing survivors are up, and our Omni Hunter is going against them. We are going to be seeing Ivy, and uh, we are going to be seeing Ivy spawn near our Gravekeeper. Definitely a solid spawn for your rescuer. And if moving into this match, if we're going to go for that Gravekeeper since he's close by, he really needs to watch out how he utilizes that shovel, since it's really crucial to uh, really be mindful of the way that you use your resources up against the shadow of all hunters.
That's true. And it's it's still good for it's gonna be good for the Shadow considering she's going to be getting rid of one side turner from this survivor team if she does
Hmm.
decide to go for the Gravekeeper. Although we do see her going to interrupt the middle cipher of meteorologist.
Yeah, the brave meteorologist continuing to decode, but our female dancer is going to opt to set up this shack ruins area with those music boxes. Uh,
Oh, that was scary.
it was. I was a little bit confused by seeing these radiuses. There's one music box, one ostracon, and female dancer is going to do a beautiful twirl to transition over to the.
Oh, wait,
Oh my goodness! Unfortunately, we're gonna get a terror shock on the dancer vaulting the pallet here, but it was a good twirl, a good
that's
transitional
true.
twirl.
A very good start for Pit Stopper, however, sharing near
Hmm.
the Gravekeeper over here, and also interrupting meteorologist at the same time. So right now
Yeah.
there is two survivors who are not decoding.
The Yithian isn't quite gonna get that shriek, but is going to move on to the shack ruins. Gravekeeper is gonna go and get that rescue, but we do have Blink to work with for this shadow.
Oh,
Oop,
un-
and
unfortunately did not get the hit of the dancer before she put down the box. However, does the job. Blink does the job.
mhm. Ooh, and we're gonna see the dancer drop down in the two-story here, where meteorologist does happen to be decoding, placing down an ostracon. Ivy switches over, and we really need to watch out because going into dancer's second chair, there's a possibility of getting basemented, but it seems like Pit Stoppers is not gonna opt for that. Instead, going to chair right outside. It's still really disruptive for this middle cipher, and speaking of disruption, we are still at 5 ciphers remaining despite the solid progress around.
So we might see battle coming in for the harass after the rescue,
Hmm.
possibly, although it's still a little bit too early at 5 Cypher to be doing that, but I'm not sure if they have any other choice.
Oh, we're gonna go for the burst through the ground for the Gravekeeper here. And a
Another terror
terror
shock!
shock! Wow! Dancer is unfortunately going to get eliminated and sent back to the manor, but Gravekeeper is already downed and right by the basement, mind you. We did get the chair right outside the hospital eliminated, but the Yithian is going to leech onto the meteorologist here. And oop, we're gonna get a
Uh,
hit on the meteorologist. A confusing
yes, and was
situation
not
with the
able to pick
ostracons.
up the Gravekeeper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, holding on to
Unfortunate.
that. Oh. Oh, and the corruption on the batter does allow for the hunter to get a balloon hit on the batter. And oh, a second time downing the batter. This is a tricky situation. But we are at 3 ciphers remaining, with, of course, the meteorologist is able to utilize rainfall. Uh, the only downside, of course, is that it is the shadow who can really easily catch up.
True.
Oh,
Yeah, the meteorologist is going to attempt to rescue the
oh, and the wind is not able to get onto that shadow, and the Ivy is able to get a hit on the meteorologist. We are ending off
his
with a 4-man elimination at 2 ciphers. Well done.